Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Monday, March 18th. We're going to take a look at XPEV today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we'd come and see where XPEV might hit some support or resistance, whether it booms or busts, and of course some levels that it might sort of pin itself to if it does move relatively sideways. So a little bit of a climb today, nothing sort of too crazy with the overall market sort of bumping up a little bit, a little motion afterward, but my assumption is folks are mainly going to wait to see the report and what's in it before making any sort of really high volume decisions. So the nearest in levels that we have, being that it finished at 982, is this 970 level. So if it does sort of start to dip a little bit or moves relatively sideways, that 970 level may be something to sort of keep an eye on. To the upside there, 1035, that's a bit where the candle body kind of bounced off of today. And so if it does get some legs, it's going to need to be able to break through that 1035, which is proved to be pretty tough as of late. We'll see if it has the gusto to get through it. If it does, 1155, 1337, 1540, and 1711. 1973. I covered a lot of ground here just in case. 2239. This way, we don't have to come back to it immediately, hopefully, if it goes to the upside anyway. To the downside, we have less to work with, and so there's fewer levels. But if it does come down below that 970, 893 and 857. And of course, you have this relatively recent swing low of 780 to maybe keep an eye on. Or there's also this little area here around 824, 825 that I'd maybe keep an eye on if it does get down there as well. I didn't put it in, just I didn't want to clutter the chart too much because these are already pretty tight in together. But, while we're speaking of sort of ranges between levels, some of these levels have huge ranges, at least percentage wise. This $2, $1 to $2 in between levels is a big percentage change for this stock, stock of this price. So just keep in mind there are going to be more granular levels. I'm pretty close to one right now, potentially right here around say 1220. Probably is a little bit of a level there, but I left the ones that had thinner price action to base the level off of. I left them off the chart just because I don't know how strong they'll be. I don't know if they will really continue to form in that way. The ones that I did put on the chart were the ones that had more significant price action historically, and I felt more confident that they could provide a strong support or resistance level. Okay, on the thinkorswim side of things, double dip here relatively recently on the bearish momentum, not a surprise. You see sort of the overall lengthy trajectory here. And so, that's been pretty challenging for the bulls, of course, to kind of keep pace with. But, this double dip put this well out of the lower bound of the channel, just now getting back into the mid-range of the channel. And it is triggering going into earnings on the TTM squeeze indicator. So, when you get these big pushes on the bearish side of things, they're pretty strong, pretty solid. And then these bullish waves are a little bit herky-jerky, several hiccup candles. They don't last nearly as long, right? And oftentimes they aren't as high as the bearish momentum histogram is deep. So we'll see if it can provide any sort of shift in that as the reaction to earnings plays out. Now, obviously, trigger and fire, pretty interesting. The main driver will be the catalyst. What's in the report itself, and how does that blend with how people are feeling about the stock and the sell-off, and recently a little bit of a climb. What do they feel is price in? What do they feel is overvalued or undervalued? So on and so forth. But it is nice to see that sort of the chart formation itself is taking shape in such a way that it is primed and ready for an outsized move at the same time as a large catalyst like earnings is in play. So we'll see if we get any stretch out of the upper or the lower bounds of the channel. If we do, the lower bound right now 833, the upper bound right now 1076. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.